I'd like to talk about a report that's out there that Conor Gallagher is not training with the first team because he's been linked with Atleti. And I know Don knows about this report, and you wouldn't mind talking about this. You've had a word with our producer about it because you too know what it's like to be banished from training.
Twice this has happened. One when I was at Liverpool with Graham Souness, who I loved, tried to swap me for Tim Flowers, so I refused to go, so I was banished for a little while. But the other one was quite damning, actually, and it's again what fans don't realise, the tricks of the trade. Players either vying for a move and how brutal it can be when a manager actually doesn't want the player or to test. So in my case, when I was at Everton under Walter Smith had signed John Collins from Monaco. And when he come in, Walter Smith got me in the office and he said, listen, you can go. He said, I've signed John Collins. He went, you're not going to play. And I went, well, I'm better than John Collins. So he put on 11v11 the week before the Premier League. Olivier Dacour was the other player that they signed as well, who was a brilliant player. And he put on 11v11 and he told me to leave. And the 11v11, I kicked lumps out of Olivier Dacour and he kicked me back because he was a great player. John Collins was a completely different player. Within 3 months, the three of us are playing in midfield. So what I didn't realise at the time was Walter was actually being truthful by saying you can leave, you're not part of the squad. But if you've got enough resilience about you, you can force your way back in. Yeah. So Conor Gallagher now needs to say, right, I've got 1 year left on my contract. Do I want to run that contract and go down, leave on a free? Do I want to go and play in La Liga, Atletico Madrid, be brilliant for his development? Or do you back yourself to say, no, I'm better than the players that are playing in midfield for Chelsea. I'm going to back myself to get him back in this team.
That depends on the manager as well.
Hold that thought. Go on, Jan.
Yeah, why is it allowed for a club to tell a player that you're not a part of our plans, you're not a part of the squad, you can train on your own? You see that in many leagues, you see that in many clubs. But if a player comes and say, I want to go to Club X, and then he is ill, then he's not loyal, then the fans will have a go at him. But the clubs can do whatever they want. That is not fair. Not by a mile, that is not fair.
So that's a manager trying to force the player out the door. That's exactly what that is.
What were you going to say, Stevie?
No, I was just going to say that a lot of that depends on the manager as well. Walter was smart enough to understand that actually bringing you back in was...
Only because of my attitude. Because what I didn't do, Stevie, when he went to me, you can go, I said no.
My point is, Walter was smart enough to understand that bringing you back in was good for the team, which is good for Walter. But not every manager is like that. Some of them can be stubborn and will say, I don't care. He's not. I've already got rid of him, and if I bring him back, it makes me look weak, and it's not happening. So it depends who your manager is.
Or that could be from above as well. Because what the above are saying is we can't afford to let this guy go on a free transfer. We can't have that happen again. So it's all a little political game where the guys above or the manager doesn't fancy the player are saying we can't let this guy run his contract and go on a free. So we need to try and convince him by telling him you're going to be a squad player and the captaincy will be taken off you and you're not going to start, which then puts a negative sort of spin on it. As a player, you might get sucked in and go, well, I might as well leave then. But in my case, I didn't. I backed myself. So I'd be interested to wonder what Conor Gallagher thinks.
Yeah, and you can keep up to date with all the latest transfer talk, rumours and gossip over on our Transfer Talk website. Check that out over on ESPNFC.com.